Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that touches so many of our lives, a lot of the time in ways we don't even see. Trauma. It can leave some pretty deep emotional scars, but, and this is the important part, there are new, powerful, and really gentle ways to heal. So let's dive in.
Right off the bat, let's just tackle one of the biggest fears people have about this. This quote right here, it's the core of modern trauma therapy. Healing is not about forcing yourself to go through it all again. It's about processing what happened, but doing it gently and in a way that feels safe for you.
Now, why is this conversation so incredibly important? Well, because roughly 1 out of every 4 adults deals with trauma-related symptoms. This isn't some rare thing that happens to just a few people. It's a huge part of the human experience.
And that's really the tricky part, isn't it? The effects of trauma don't always look like the dramatic flashbacks we see in the movies. A lot of the time, they're much more subtle. They can be woven right into our daily lives, and we can easily mistake them for something else entirely.
So let's talk about that lingering echo. See, trauma isn't just about the event that happened. It's about the impact it leaves behind. It's about the way it can shape our relationships, our work, and just our basic ability to feel safe in the world.
So who does this actually affect? Well, the list is way broader than you might think. Of course, it includes survivors of things like abuse or violence, but it also includes people who've been through a serious car accident or a major medical scare. It's for adults who are still carrying the weight of a tough childhood, and it even includes professionals in really high-stress jobs, like first responders or journalists, who see difficult things over and over again. Really, it can be anyone who's gone through intense, prolonged stress.
Being able to recognize these echoes of trauma, well, that's the first crucial step. So what exactly are we looking for? Like it says here, it's so much more than just flashbacks.
Now, what's really interesting here is just how different these signs can be. For one person, it might be feeling totally numb, just disconnected from everything. For another, it's being constantly on edge, that thing called hypervigilance, where you jump at every little sound. It could be constant anxiety or avoiding certain places. And so often, it brings these heavy, isolating feelings of shame or guilt.
It's also really helpful to understand that trauma can show up in different ways. We hear a lot about PTSD, right? That usually comes from a single, big, traumatic event. But there's also something called CPTSD, or complex trauma. That's the result of being exposed to trauma over and over again for a long time, like in cases of ongoing abuse or neglect. Its effects can be woven even more deeply into a person's life. Okay, now for the most important part of this whole conversation, healing is possible. It really is. And the amazing thing is that modern therapies are designed to be effective, gentle, and to always keep you in the driver's seat. You are in control of the process.
One of the most incredible approaches is called EMDR. Its goal isn't to make you forget what happened, but to take away the emotional punch of the memory. It basically helps your brain refile it so it's not so painful. And it's a perfect example of this new approach because you can do it without having to talk about every single detail. Then you've got something called trauma-focused CBT. This one works more on your thought patterns. It helps you find and challenge those negative beliefs that get stuck in your head after a trauma. Thoughts like, I'm not safe anywhere, or it was all my fault. It helps you reframe that story. And we absolutely cannot forget the body. Trauma doesn't just live in our minds. It gets stored in our bodies as tension or pain or that constant feeling of being on alert. Somatic therapies are all about that mind-body connection. They help you release that stored stress and just feel safe inside your own skin again.
Okay, but I get it. Thinking about therapy can bring up a lot of really valid questions and fears. So let's just run through some of the most common ones and get them answered.
This is the big one, isn't it? This is the question that stops so many people. Do I have to sit there and spell out every single horrible detail of what happened to me?
And the answer is a clear, confident no. Absolutely not. Like we just talked about, so many modern therapies are specifically designed so you don't have to do that. A good therapist is going to respect your boundaries, period. You are in control.
Okay, here's another great question. What about all the physical stuff that comes with it? The sleepless nights, the chronic pain, just feeling exhausted all the time?
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Remember what we said about somatic techniques? The mind and body are so deeply connected. By helping your nervous system finally calm down and release all that stored up stress, therapy can have a direct, positive impact on those physical symptoms.
So what does it actually look like to get started?
I know taking that first step can feel like a huge, scary thing, but the whole process is designed to be as supportive and simple as possible.
It almost always starts with just a simple, private phone call, a confidential consultation. From there, you get matched with a therapist who really specializes in trauma. And then you just begin. You start your path, and you always move at a pace that feels comfortable for you. It's a journey, not a race.
So, I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. What if healing isn't about trying to erase the past? What if it's really about changing the power that past has over you, so it no longer gets to write the story of your future?